The bar lizard is representing the being holding the Master Emerald, that being the so-called Great Dragon, sealing the Master Emerald, and obviously for Shadow, being representation of the being in gold aura, aka the representative of Sonic. Dark Beginnings, a 3-episode prologue that builds up the story for sonicxshadowgenerations releasing this fall, as well as the prologue releasing this fall. And with the preview we got from Anime Expo, gave us a lot to think about. But the main thing I've been seeing people questioning about is that, why the hell is Emerl here? So as I said in my previous video, we know that Gerald was on the space colony Arc to meet the ultimate life form, Shadow the Hedgehog, in which before he was creating vessels to harness the power of the Chaos Emeralds, that being those Chaos clones, to obtain immortality, which were based off of the Mirror from Hidden Palace Zone and Mystic Ruins from Sonic 2 and Sonic Adventure, and that was the main goal for Project Shadow. But on his exploration, he encountered something else. Something that would be later revealed to be a disaster. 4,000 years ago, as you know, the Echidna clan inhabited Mystic Ruins from Sonic Adventure 1 and were the ones responsible for the ancient mural on the wall, that being Perfect Chaos, which Gerald would use to create the Bottle Lizard. But there was someone else. The ancient Echidnas had a rival with the Nocturnus clan. You might remember these guys from Sonic Chronicles or the Archie comics. They were taking over land at a rapid pace in which they encountered the ancient Echidnas, being both separate tribes of Echidnas, with one of them being more technologically advanced, that being the Nocturnus clan, in which they confronted one another for power. You may be wondering where I'm going with this, but I'll tell you. The Nocturnus clan had the more upper hand because they had the power of the Gizoids. As for the Gizoids, they're ancient androids that were able to have the capability to copy their opponent's attacks and moves and mimic them. With having these androids, the ancient Knuckles clan was being wiped out and being overtaken by the Nocturnus clan. As you know, they turned towards the Master Emerald in a desperate need for more power. As Tikal tried to stop them, they awakened Chaos, the water serpent in the mural from Mystic Ruins, and wiped out the Echidnas, which led the Nocturnus clan victorious with no competition. And with that, the Nocturnus clan looked furthermore into the Gizoid's power, in which led to them creating the most powerful one, Emerl, who was created to harness the ability of all 7 Chaos Emeralds. And obviously that made him different. He was much stronger than the rest of the Gizoids. In fact, he was so strong and so capable of doing anything, a little god took them and wiped out all of the Nocturnus clan and Gizoids, sending them to another dimension, except Emerl, sealing them away to another dimension for all of eternity. Emerl was the last one standing. He was just sealed away in ancient ruins, but still intact for thousands of years. Now, presumably in the creation of the ultimate life form, the Gizoid was found in the ruins by no one other than Geraldrobotnik, in which one day he was activated by accident. With Gerald knowing that, he will learn and search up the history of the Gizoids. And the Gizoids are programmed to have a link with someone who has incredible power, in which eventually he would form a link with Emerl, in which from then he would only listen to Dr. Geraldrobotnik. As for Gerald, he was able to learn more on Emerl, which aided him in the creation of Project Shadow. And then, as we know from SA2, the creation of Project Shadow took some time, in which the United Federation was getting impatient with Gerald, and then threatened to cancel everything on it, in which Gerald showed them Emerl. After all, he had to think of something because the fate of Maria was on the line, although he didn't expect them to do anything good with the Gizoid. So before giving it to them, he instructed it to see anything more on combat as he gave it to them. And now with the United Federation having the Gizoid in their possession, it would give Gerald more time on Project Shadow. And as followed, the Gizoid wouldn't absorb any more information on combat. I might have said that wrong before, but that's what he programmed him to do. This got so bad they even tried to override the link that he had with Gerald, but obviously that didn't work. Is what I would say if they weren't in possession of a Chaos Emerald, and then after absorbing a lot of information on modern weaponry and technology, something snapped in Emerl, in which he destroyed a good portion of the space colony Arc, which can be seen in the Dark Beginnings preview with Shadow, Maria, and Gerald, in which later finally getting the Gizoid repressed, and then in which he was ordered to destroy it. But instead of destroying it, Gerald reprogrammed its AI, and then in which he inserted a digital soul of Maria, just like Shadow. And then now with the new AI and soul of Maria, Emerl as a threat was controlled. And then even found a way to annihilate all the Gizoid's destructive programming, but in order to do that, he needed all 7 Chaos Emeralds, and a simple phrase that he had to say, which was, "Bring hope to humanity," which are the exact lines that was said by Maria before she got shot. In which after, Emerl will be sealed away. Now 50 years later, in terms of the story for sonicbattle, Eggman would uncover the Gizoid, and just as his programming, he would not listen to Eggman, and so which he tossed aside the Gizoid, and then which later, Sonic would find Emerl. And as you play through Sonic Battle, he slowly built a bond with Sonic and friends, picking up on unique traits and quirks as it goes on, slowly getting even more and more sentience. Although when he encounters Shadow, he actually relates to him the most, which makes sense because like I said, both of their souls were modeled after Maria, and with one of them having a soul Maria, that being Shadow, and one partially a creation of Gerald, Emerl, they both wondered why they were both given souls of Maria. And then which Shadow and Emerl will gather up all 7 Chaos Emeralds and speak the phrase, "Bring hope to humanity," which like I said would free Emerl of his destructive program, is what I would say if it worked. Emerl with all 7 Chaos Emeralds would be sent to Dr. Eggman to take down one of his evil plans. Although within there, Eggman tricks Emerl into witnessing an extensive amount of incredible power. He shoots an enormous and powerful laser into space in front of Emerl that even obliterated stars. And with that blast being so powerful and so strong, Emerl's destructive programming was regained after the blast. And then in which goes on a rampage, taking over, and then it causes to aim the laser at Earth. And then which unfortunately at the end of Sonic Battle, Sonic has to fight Emerl, and after you beat him, Maria's soul resigned in Emerl takes in, and then with the soul taken over, he regained his safe programming and says his goodbyes to Sonic the Hedgehog and all the friends he's made along the way, which shows of his appearance in Dark Beginnings and his relation to Project Shadow. And as for the Dark Beginnings preview, as you can see Emerl wrecking the Ark, and with Shadow having to stop it. But from what I believe, that this seems to be a different alternate timeline, obviously with the involvement of time in Generations, in which this time Shadow is present with the destruction of Emerl and has to put a stop to him. Everything from the Ancient Echidnas, the Nocturnes clan, the Gizoids, all connect to the making of Project Shadow. All 3 episodes of Dark Beginnings will be released in this fall, so we'll just have to wait to see. Like I said, I made a previous video about this, so go check that out. I truly can't wait to see what happens in sonicxshadowgenerations with Shadow's storyline. It's been really great to see more of him, because I really feel like we haven't seen much of him ever since 06, but I could be wrong if there's anything else that I don't know about. And from the preview, from what it looks like, of my theory of that there being another Shadow with Maria, that seems to be wrong, but like I said, it was wishful thinking. I'm going to do a full and much bigger analysis on Dark Beginnings when all the episodes come out in fall. But yeah, if you were wondering why Emerl was present in Dark Beginnings, well now you know. My worst fears have come true. The Gizoid has absorbed enough weaponry and technology and has started to go out of control. The resulting rampage resulted in the destruction of most of the Ark. I have deciphered the rest of the stone tablet. It says when the Gizoid had learned all that it could, it became a god of wrath, and all was destroyed. The researchers somehow managed to subdue the Gizoid and sealed it away. Luckily, it only had one of the Chaos Emeralds installed. If it were to have all 7 Chaos Emeralds, it might destroy the whole planet. The Gizoid is too much of a liability. I tried destroying its core, but nothing I did worked. I understand little too much of the technology that built him. My best hope is to try and reprogram its AI into a free-willed, emotions-based AI.